Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the March 19th Commissioners Meeting. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from March the 5th.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from our March 5th meeting as submitted.
I second that motion.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve the accounts payable vouchers.
I make a motion to approve the accounts payable vouchers.
I second that.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve the payroll docket.
I make a motion, we approve the payroll docket as submitted.
I make a motion we approve the payroll docket.
Okay. I'll have a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Andrew Carty Williams Road Use Agreement Amendment.
Hey, Commissioners, thanks for letting us come in. I don't have much for you today. Andrew Carty, I represent the Williams Power facility that we've got under construction. And we've been working with Jason and have asked for an amendment to our road use agreement to add about 400 foot of road on Paper Mill. Just to make sure that it's covered under the agreement and is bonded and is under our obligation if it happens to be impacted on that road, that Jason could hold us accountable for it.
Okay. You're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the amendment to the Jefferson County roadway usage agreement with the Williams Power LLC.
I second.
You have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Motion carries. Okay. Rick, looks like you have the floor, sir.
This is Mike Shaw with Acrisure. Just worked with.
How you doing?
Randy Tilton's place. And worked with us.
I think I met a couple of you guys at AIC before,
Mhm.
over in Frenchville, so.
Working on the renewals for, I know you've been looking forward to this.
Bated
The
breath.
last meeting in March is always one of my favorites.
We'll go through the package first. You got, okay. It's gonna be the same. I'll pretty much hit the highlights. Then page 6 is the building and your business personal property coverage. They did a 3% increase for inflation. So we're at 108,712,014. It went up 3,166,368. Overall for buildings and business personal property. The next page on 7 is your deluxe property coverage, which everything on there stayed the same. Well, fine arts at $1 million. Valuable papers at $2 million. Page 9, still have the business income at 1.6. Page 10, earthquake, 10 million coverage, flood, 5 million. That's all stayed the same. Deductible, that's what, 5,000. Utility service, 50,000. Vandalism, electronic vandalism, 10,000. Crime, 100,000. That's all stayed the same. Really, pretty much all of it's pretty much still have additional coverage property, the building coverage bulkheads, and that's more or less coverage for fences and everything at the new jail. Got 393, 750. That's all the same. Your earthquake deductible is same 50,000, flood deductibles 25,000. Windstorm and hail still at 1%. That's all stayed the same on page 13. Minimum deductible is 100,000 on that wind and hail. So you still have the 1% wind and hail deductible. We did, last year we went with the deductible buy down, which I'll go through that in a second. Page 16, inland marine floater. That coverage is at 1,178,610. That covers the voting machines, polling pads, voting printers, laptops, Canon scanner. Got 565,000 computer coverages for all the buildings. On page 15, that's the business income, 5,442,000 covering the jail. In case something was happening where it was not, you have to carry that for the bonds that are being carried. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 million.
Million, yeah.
5 million. Page 17, got the contractor's equipment. That's covered at 2,934,203. That's gift from the highway department. Plus we have the 3 no-till drills on there and Kubota track loader and a golf cart, all covered under that amount. That's all the same. Got your general liability on page 22, 1,000,000, 2,000,000, all that stayed the same. You have the general liability, employee benefit liability, 1,000,000, 3,000,000. That's all the same. Law enforcement still have 1,000,000. Deductible 50,000. On the law enforcement liability, got the public entity management liability, 1,000,000 with 10,000 deductible. That's the same as last year. Commercial auto. Got 1,000,000, 5,000 on med. We have 76 autos and 13 trailers. On the commercial auto, physical damage. We've added 3 vehicles over last year compared to last year. And then we've also, last year, there were 9 vehicles bought. So some of the values have upgraded where we traded in like got a $50,000 dump truck and bought a $168,000 dump truck. So your values are a lot higher on your value on your vehicles. With purchasing 9 and got 3 vehicles over last year also. Umbrella. Same coverage as last year. Still exclude the law enforcement liability and the APL, which isn't included in that umbrella, so we had to go outside again. And that is not included in the umbrella. That's why we had to go and get excess liability. And that was pretty much on the package.
I know how to do that. It won't work again.
I wouldn't have a problem with that probably. Overall, the premium on the package was up 11.59%. So the main portion of that comes in the of course, the law liability. That was up 10.32. The EP public entity was up 12. The management liability was up 26%. And that was mainly due to increase in the amount of employees. I think we did. Went from what, 197 to.
229, I think, 229.
Sounds right. And yours, you had submitted another number which had 50 more part-time, which we got that backed out on the
Yeah.
excess.
Right.
So that,
The law enforcement's up because of officers too. I think we had 6 more, if I remember right, from last year. 47 to 53, I think, so. That's a big reason why the law jumped a decent amount too.
so the total on that was 659,260. And that was up 11.59 overall. The excess law.
Could I hit him up about the jail? I have a question while we're talking about this. Say we have a measles outbreak at the jail. I mean, theoretically, one guy brings it in,
Mhm.
we are not covered under that, right?
He's gonna be more up there.
Here's the thing, like, not only him, but what about the 15 he's had contact with? Plus, if you put him in solitary confinement, which is the only way to keep, then he's
Yeah.
going to follow suit because he's, and the other 15, if you do something with them, hey, it's not my fault, I
6 years ago, you'd be fine, you'd be covered, but now
But
the
it-
entire
it-
insurance
yeah,
industry basically excludes communicable disease after COVID. So, every carrier out there has a disease or has a exclusion.
He admitted.
It's kind of true too, but no, so every carrier out there has a communicable disease exclusion now. Which would exclude coverage for that
And
specific
then would
type
it
of
be
coverage.
because of you not putting him in isolation or because of the nursing and staff, which is under contract, so.
So,
There's also the side of get the legal, can you prove that they got it from the jail? I mean, common sense says they probably did, but could it be somewhere else? Could it be somebody else coming in that a visitor or something? It's hard from a lawsuit standpoint to prove it would be your guys' liability. It would be up to the courts to determine who's at fault or anything, but I think that's the thought of it a lot from the insurance carriers too, is you guys shouldn't be liable for that either, so that's their thought process. I have different thoughts, but
okay,
This is the excess law liability. Since it's not covered under traveler's umbrella, we had to go outside. And they would only provide $2 million worth. On the first layer, we got 2 layers. This premium came in at 105,795. And that was up 7.3%.
that increases, I think, solely number of officers. I don't think they took any rate at all. I think it's purely number of officers increased, premium increased.
The secondary layer.
The secondary, is that what tertiary that we're coming to? I'd be for
That came in at 52,975. That was up. (6.24%). It was up 3,100 over last year. This is the excess EPLI. And this is an excess $4 million, which is what we carry on the umbrella, which is what's excluded in our travelers. This premium came in at 54,273.75.
EPLI's employment practices liability.
Okay,
Yeah,
there,
now that was up 17.02%. You said the reason for that was the increase in people.
And I think there was a claim out there too, that impact that a little bit.
Deductible buy down portion.
can we? on
Yeah,
that one?
yes,
So is this, so they're back in the original, or the main. So this one does. So is this the kind of in the original part of the,
Mhm.
Travelers Park.
yeah,
It is it's covered up for $1 million, yes.
right, and then so this goes to,
So it's not, so it's on the umbrella portion of Travelers policy, it's excluded. Last year they came out and excluded the law liability under the umbrella and the EPLI under the umbrella. That's why we went out and bought excess up to 4 million elsewhere to supplement to make that.
so we don't carry this, or do we
You-
carry this and?
Yes,
So you have $1 million on the Travelers one.
well, it is optional.
Yeah. You have $1 million on the Travelers, 4 million above it. On this Hudson quote, that gets you to the 5 million total. That's state court tort cap. That's usually the bar we set.
Any more questions on that? This is the deductible buy down. This is the only, okay, the deductible buy down, where you have the 1% deductible for property. This buys it down from 100,000 minimum to 25,000. To where, say, if you had a claim on the jail, total claim, you're say at 48 million, you're gonna have what? 4.8 million. Is that right?
Yeah.
$4.8 million deductible. So, this buys it down to 25,000. The premium on that,
I think that was an extra zero. 48 million would be 480,000.
okay, yes.
A bunch of stuff.
Still a lot more than 25.
Premium on that is coming in at 70,884.86.
That
Went down 10,885. Yeah. Went down 10,874, went down,
Down.
went down 13.3%.
Mhm.
Then we have the cyber liability policy.
I think it's the last one for you.
Yeah.
At least for today.
Holy short of that. No, also doing businesses.
Cyber liability. Actually went down $831. Which was 5.85%. Through the same carriers we had last year and everything. And that, they break that down to, what? I think they have several different companies.
Yeah, it's broken out. It's through Lloyd of London. It'll be on the back of page 4 there.
34.
There's 5 total. So you'll see 1 there and
That's fun,
Four there.
Integra and Vantage Risk, so they have broken down those companies all share a part of the risk. So that one did come down also. Overall. Looking at a 8.5% increase. With everything figured in. We did, like I said, last minute, got with Heather and got some clarification on some of the employees. And since she's reporting poll workers on payroll, that added what, 60 or
Right. it's a
50
lot.
part-time employees, so we backed another $4,100 off, so we got that changed at about 337. So, and then we got the deductible buy down another $400 this afternoon, because we lowered some building numbers that they'd put in a 4% increase, where Travelers had only put in a 3% increase. So we got it back to where they matched Travelers. So that saved another 400 off of that. But that's what we're looking at as far as an increase on it. Total is coming in at 961, 119.74,
961.
119.74. Yeah,
Say 8%.
8.5%. And he can share as far as what other counties are doing. I mean, I don't know how many counties you have insured with.
Somewhere between 20-25, I think, in Indiana, but, yeah, we did look at other markets too for you. I know it was a big jump last year, so we talked about that last year. We looked again this year. From last year to this year, there's two more markets that used to do counties that no longer insure counties. So they're dropping like flies. So that makes it a lot tougher to just a starting point. There's probably only maybe 4, maybe 5, if you're perfect, that will look at it on a structure like this where it's a lower deductible option. A lot of counties are starting to kind of look into partially self-funding a little bit more, taking on more of the risk for lower premiums. We looked into that for you guys here. We had the numbers that didn't necessarily make sense, so that's why we didn't really get too far into it. I can go into it as long as you want me to, if you really want me to break it down, but we looked at that side. It'd probably save you maybe $30,000 on average a year, but you're taking on a lot more risk. So if you don't have any losses, it's great.
One loss and it's.
One loss and you wipe out your savings. So we don't necessarily recommend doing that unless the savings is probably closer to $150,000, $200,000 a year, is really when we start looking at that as a good option for you guys. It was gonna save you $30,000 or $40,000 a year. So it really wasn't even worth going down that route. Unless you promise me you'll never have any claims over the next year. At that point, you might not need insurance at all, right? So we looked at that route for you too. There were other ones that was gonna go to $100,000 retentions for the record. So deductibles, 200,000 on law, 100,000 on everything else versus we talked about, I think it's 50,000 or 10,000, depending on the line that you have right now. So the other options up there, we're gonna go up to 250,000. You could save a little bit more premium, but again, one large loss and it's just completely wiped out, even more. So, didn't think that was a good option for you guys, but I wanted to at least mention, we did look down that path and asked a couple markets about it. So, the claim history is really driving it a little bit. A lot of it's also the weather around you guys, not necessarily even you guys, but Switzerland County got hit really hard. A lot of the markets I would look at, you guys were on Switzerland County when the claim happened, is it 2 years ago now? The one on the school and the county and everything. So that Big Hill claim, so a lot of them are scared about your guys' part of the state anyways. Not to mention just weather changes in general. We're averaging 65 tornadoes in Indiana over the last 3 years, where before it was under 30 a year. So that's just scaring property markets as well. So, not a good time to be an insurance carrier if you're trying to make money, because they're losing money left and right, even with their premiums going up. As much as I don't want to give them credit for that, or give them the excuse to increase premiums, I guess, but there's a good reason they're all going up and there's a good reason everybody's getting out of it. It's just a really, kind of what you said earlier, it's a cost of doing business. Unfortunately, the marketplace in general is just not great for counties right now. Jails are a really tough risk from an insurance standpoint. Well, a lot of markets are, that's what I was saying, like 2 of them have gotten out in the last year.
We're probably fortunate we can insure the jail.
Yeah.
Do
yeah.
we have a plan as far as doing something with the OJL juvenile detention? Is that still on the scope, or is that still,
It's happening as we speak.
how long before you think that will take place possibly?
Year.
End of the year.
Cause the coverages we talked about it earlier, coverages do change when you have a vacant building, so we just wanted to bring that to your attention where So you know that, you were talking about what, there's not as much coverage on.
They'll exclude some of the perils. Water's the big one. The thought process behind it, if nobody's in the building, out a pipe burst, it's gonna cause way more damage than if it happened here, right? Somebody would notice it very quickly here. But if it's a vacant building, it can take weeks to notice sometimes, so carriers won't cover vacant buildings, they won't cover for water. Theft is another big one that they won't cover. Then a couple other perils in there that are not as big, but, and they might change it to actual cash value instead of replacement cost, so what they actually pay out might be lower depending on the peril there as well, so. When a building is vacant,
But once it's leased out to.
as soon as somebody occupies it, you get back to the full coverage.
Yeah.
You need probably what, 2-3 months heads up for occupancy to be safe.
Yeah, just let me know. That'd be fine.
There are some people in it now, I mean, it's not completely, because they have the out of school suspension going on downstairs, and then Mike is over there for his
So
office.
it's not completely, it's not completely vacant.
Do you say, I think it's 30% of the time, there's 30% of days there are people in there? I think that's the mark,
Well,
Well, I mean, school.
it's a rough guess,
school would
right?
be the School year.
in any school day,
Yeah,
okay, then you're probably good.
and Mike has an office in there, so. he's there
Perfect, okay,
every
yeah,
day.
so you're probably good still, but they may, cause obviously it's a large building, if you're only using part of it, they may make the argument in terms of a claim that part of it's vacant, to try to negotiate at that point, but, that's better than totally vacant. For sure,
tell Mike to make a tour through it.
yeah, every day he's there, Yeah.
Campground, is that a go-to?
Whenever we get the money, sure.
Okay.
They keep asking for more information,
So they're
but
looking
then we
at,
have to spend it by Q3 of 2028. I'm like, how can? Give me the money and I'll go spend it.
We've already lost one summer, we could have had a lot of dirt turned, but anyway.
Anyway, yes, it's,
it's still on the board, okay. No, anything else besides those two, or?
New animal
New
shelter and.
Well, I knew that, and that's a
veterinary.
partnership with Ivy Tech,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Still a partnership.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of risk. They may be risk averse in that one, I don't know. They'll use, and we'll include, well, we can include that in.
So as far as the renewal, you just need signatures on.
Yeah.
Do you have it all?
yeah, I got everything written out, but somebody needs to sign, I don't know who wants to be the, volunteer. I
Yeah.
got 7 or 8, you probably need to make a motion first, but.
It probably did go up because it was,
We did increase, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's how much.
we'll take your advice, what you told us to do on some other things.
Yeah,
Also doing business.
Well, I know, no.
Yeah, not like
There's another group that can. do
Trading
that
for a
without much
car.
pay. So I make a motion, we approve all the property liability renewal along with all the, what do we call them? Amendments,
Excess
excess coverages
along with cyber.
along with cyber for $961,119.74.
Correct.
Yes, I second.
You have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Thanks, guys, wants to be the fun one signing everything.
I'll be.
As you go through, there's sticky notes of where to sign, some of it doesn't have a line, some of it does, but
We've gotten a lot better over the years, you know.
Down here.
yeah, if there's anywhere down there.
Yeah, I just try to hit the highlights.
What do you think?
Should be 2 sections on that one.
Just seems like
Is that it?
come down the wire.
There should be,
Meetings at 5.
I'll go back.
I got-
Yeah, so there's that one, and then there's gonna be one on the page behind it too, or before it, I should say.
Next year, we'll just have to make sure we keep that, as Feather gave me one number and you gave me the higher number.
Yeah.
And the jail numbers don't even get included in the number she gave.
Thank you.
'Cause they're-
That one I think is just gonna be a sign anywhere on the last page.
Include anything below this line. And that I send to Ben and Laura. So they complete that. And then they were including that, I think, in the.
The very next one should be just a signature there.
I don't know if it.
And I think a signature on the last page of that one, that might be the last one, I think. Yep. Perfect.
Probably upgrading our cyber security stuff.
Is that the people out of Columbus or is that? somebody-
No, it's the.
We're on.
Towards the end of the agenda, so.
Today.
So, would it help to look at what they plan to do, or is that? Is it just they can have it?
Pretty much we have everything they need as far as the coalition, I believe.
Yeah, so we have everything we need, if depending on what is getting added. They may bring premiums down potentially.
Just, you know,
Yeah, send us, if you're approving the
It'll be
contract
in-
today, send us the contract, of what's getting added and I'll run it by them.
Nothing else? No other questions? Everything good? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Moving along.
Okay, so let's go first, TMA. That is
management, safety.
Management Associates Incorporated. I have been working, since becoming auditor, I have worked several times. We've done audits within our office to find homestead fraud. I also started using a tool online where someone could anonymously report someone not living in a home that has a homestead. We were able to find 2 more homesteads that way, and we've had a couple people call in and turn in things that miss under our radar. I do still think that there probably are some homesteads that are fraudulent in Jefferson County, and with all the changes to tax reform coming, we need to really buckle down and make sure that if someone's claiming a homestead, they actually live there. So Tax Management Associates runs a program. They have access to national databases, where someone might be filing their income tax return in another state to be able to verify that people are not truly living in Jefferson County and receiving that tax benefit. Their fee is 60% of what is recovered. So that money, when we find an eligible homestead, that goes into the ineligible homestead fund. And so 60% of that money,
It's 40.
oh, it's 40%. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
got it back.
from- Taxes.
20, and wait a minute now.
No, but yeah, so the auditor's office then gets the remaining.
Oh, I see how that goes.
40%.
So if we get some money, can the commissioners?
For taxes, penalties and.
It's for auditor's office operations and to use to continue the efforts. So that being said, it's no additional money out of my budget. And they would be recovering the amount from taxpayers that were claiming ineligible. My only concern with this whole thing was I was worried, what if the auditor's office made a mistake and left a homestead on someone and they told us, and I will have the final call if we actually go through with them collecting the money on that, or if we're gonna make a correction in our office. I wanted to be able to have that call local in case there were special scenarios. The scenarios that I have came across, though, they are very clear cut that people are living life in another state and they are renting the homes here, and that's just not fair to our taxpayers that are doing everything correctly. So, I would just ask that you accept this contract, and then I plan on getting started after the spring settlement. So after the June settlement, maybe July, let them start working on sending those letters out and start verifying homesteads.
Don't have to read it.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see, yeah.
Um,
I like
So
that.
This, 2A2. If the county opts in its sole authority and discretion to not issue bills on property deemed ineligible by TMA. Tax Management Associates,
Mhm.
audit for the homes, so is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
So-
So I say I find one that they reported to us that should have been removed, and then we did not remove it, then I would not go through with the billing of that.
But do we pay them $750?
She did not say that whenever I was talking to her, but I think if they are claiming. So if they are claiming multiple homestead exemptions, but I still say, no, in this case, I don't want to, then yes, I would have to. But if it was left on, they were not truly claiming it and it was our error, then we would not
That would-
have to pay the $750.
So normally, I guess how much is? Well, I should pay attention to my taxes, but how much is the homestead?
The
Deduction.
homestead, generally it takes your property tax to half.
Half, okay,
So, the penalty on these, typically, we go back 3 years. So they would be billed their taxes at the higher rate for 3 years, and then, or how. If it was just for a year, only that 1 year, and then there is a 10% penalty on top of that.
So off a $2,400 a year tax bill, they'd owe 1,200 additional for how many years they've been scamming, right?
Or at least the 3
And
years,
10% of that, right?
Mhm. I think we found 2 last year and we went back the full 3 years, and I think during settlement, we ended up collecting about $8,500 to add to our fund.
Those 3 years to cap you, max you can go back.
In Indiana. So we have one of the more lenient laws about that. California and Florida can go back 10.
Hmm. So, it's again, because I'm not up to speed, let's say someone's living in their house for 6 months. What's the, and they're in Florida because the weather's far nicer for those other 6, what is?
Where do you vote? Where do you file your income tax
So that's
return?
what's.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's where your residency is
I
at,
see. Okay, so it's not a time limit, it's just,
right? It's where you can only be a resident of one place.
well.
Well, yeah,
Legally.
kind of.
Legally.
Hmm.
And locally, that's how I do verify through voting records, and changes, because you make those changes through BMV and how they come through BMV records.
And according to number 10, you can opt out of it
Mhm.
if things don't go awry. Okay.
Pat did review the contract. We didn't see any problems, but.
Okay.
Make a motion, we approve the contract with Tax Management Associates Incorporated on the home deduction audit program. As presented.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Now we have to cover the donation ordinances.
So we are doing some ordinance cleanup, we should have had. Ordinances on file for, any donation fund. And there are a few that do not have ordinances on file, so we're gonna, over the next couple meetings, do some updates.
Means we're gonna be reading. You guys ready for this?
These are not new funds, these are funds that we have in place, and these are rules that we already follow, but. We just do not have formal copies of that, so.
One's a donation fund and one of the capital projects fund.
They're both donations funds, but one is the shelter building fund,
Here.
and one is the regular, operation donations,
Okay,
so.
it's like, awful soon.
They are,
Except for that one, that's
right,
in the shelter. Right? Okay, down section two, it's a feelings.
When you want to read,
You start?
pick one.
All right, we'll do it in order, because I'm the engineer, we have to go in order. Ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance establishing a donations fund for Jefferson County Animal Shelter. Whereas Indiana Code 36-1-4-10 authorizes Jefferson County to accept donations of money and to execute any documents necessary to receive money or other property donated from any source. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County have received information that various individuals and organizations wish to donate money or property to the Jefferson County Animal Shelter to support its operations, the medical needs of animals, and the maintenance of the shelter. And whereas the Indiana State Board of Accounts, SBOA, has instructed that all monies donated to the county for a specific purpose should be receipted into a separate fund properly titled and not commingled with other funds. And now therefore be it ordained as the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, Indiana, Section 1, Creation of Fund. There is hereby established a Jefferson County Animal Shelter Donation Fund to receive and disperse donations intended for the support and enhancement of the Jefferson County Animal Shelter. Section 2, purposes of fund and definitions of expenditures. The funds may be dispersed or expended for any lawful purpose consistent with the donor's intent. For the purposes of this fund, authorized expenditures are defined as A, shelter operations, general supplies, food, bedding, toys, enrichment materials, and adoption promotion initiatives. B, animal medical expenses, veterinary services, medications, spay-neuter procedures, emergency treatments, and diagnostic testing for animals in the shelter's care. C, building, upkeep, and facility maintenance, repairs, improvements, and specialized equipment necessary to maintain a safe and sanitary environment for the animals and the public. The prohibited expenditures, this fund shall not be used for cash bonuses, gift cards, or any form of monetary compensation for employees that is not specifically authorized in the county's animal salary, county's annual. Animals are getting paid. The county's annual salary ordinance, sorry about that. Section 3, donor restriction and ethics compliance. To maintain compliance with Indiana Ethics Rule 42 IAC 1-5-1 and avoid conflicts of interest, the fund shall not accept donations from any person or entity that has an active business relationship with Jefferson County, is currently bidding on a county contract, or is seeking to influence an official by the Board of Commissioners. Any donation of real or personal property and any donation for which there is any condition or restriction must be reviewed and formally accepted by the Board of Commissioners during a public meeting to ensure transparency regarding the source. Section 4, appropriations and disbursements pursuant to Attorney General Official Opinion Number 68 and SBOA guidelines. The Board of Commissioners may authorize expenditures from this fund for the purposes specified by donors without separate appropriation. All accounts payable vouchers must be filed and approved in the regular legal manner before payments are made. Section 5, separate accounts. The Jefferson County Treasurer may create separate accounts within this fund, e.g. medical fund, building fund, to track and receipt donations according to the donor's specific designated purpose. Section 6, non-reverting and dissolution. Money deposited in this fund shall not revert to the general fund at the end of the fiscal year, upon termination of the fund by the Board of Commissioners. Any remaining balance shall revert. Upon determination of the fund by the Board of Commissioners, any remaining balance shall revert to the general fund. Section 7, effective date. This ordinance shall become effective upon passage. The foregoing ordinance was passed and adopted by the Board of Commissioners of the County of Jefferson, State of Indiana, this blank day of blank 2026.
Good. You want to read the other one?
Reckon did it. Next up, ordinance number 2026-03. An ordinance establishing a donation fund for the Jefferson County Animal Shelter building and equipment. Whereas Indiana Code 36-1-4-10 authorizes Jefferson County to accept donations of money and to execute any documents necessary to receive money or other property donated from any source. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County have identified a long-term need for the planning, construction, and outfitting of a new animal shelter facility and the replacement of existing aged infrastructure and equipment. And whereas the Indiana State Board of Accounts requires that funds donated for specific capital purposes, such as building projects, be receipted into a separate non-reverting fund to ensure the money is used exclusively for its intended purposes and not to commingle with daily operating funds. And now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, Indiana, Section 1, creation of fund. There is hereby established the Jefferson County Animal Shelter Capital Projects Fund, the fund, for the purpose of receiving and holding donations intended for the significant capital improvements, new construction, and major equipment acquisition for the animal shelter. Section 2, authorized capital expenditures. The fund shall be used exclusively for the following capital purposes. A, new construction and replacement, cost associated with planning, design, site acquisition, and construction of new animal shelter facility, or the total replacement of existing structural components. B, major equipment. The purchase of replacement of high-value equipment with a significant useful life, HVAC systems, commercial grade kennel systems, transport vehicles, or industrial cleaning systems. C, facility expansion, renovation, remodeling projects that expand the current shelter footprint or capacity. Page 2. D, prohibited use. The fund shall not be used for routine maintenance, daily operational supplies, food, litter, or employee appreciation compensation, which are handled by separate funds. Section 3, donor restrictions and ethics compliance. To ensure transparency and compliance with Indiana ethics standards. A, the fund shall not accept donations from any person or entity currently bidding on a county construction contract or seeking to influence the selection of vendors for the capital project. B, any donation, real or personal property, and any donation for which there is any condition or restriction must be reviewed and formally accepted by the Board of Commissioners in a public meeting. Section 4, administration and non-reverting status. Pursuant to Attorney General Office option, Attorney General Official Opinion number 68, the Board of Commissioners may authorize expenditures from this fund for the purpose specified by donors without separate appropriation. In this section A, This is a non-reverting fund. Any balance remaining at the end of the fiscal year shall carry over to the next year until the capital project is completed. B, upon completion of the intended capital projects, any remaining balance may be transferred to the animal shelter general donation fund by subsequent ordinance. This ordinance shall become effective upon passage. The foregoing ordinance was passed and adopted by the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, State of Indiana, this day of blank of 2026.
Next week, next meeting before the.
You don't have to.
We could form them.
You can forego, second and third readings.
Okay, I would entertain a motion if you guys wanna get this rolling.
So I make a motion that we forego the second and third readings for ordinance number 2026-02 and 2026-03.
I second that.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Now we have to.
I make a motion, do we have to do them separate? We do them
Yeah.
together? We'll do them separate.
Yeah.
I'll have to all. You got the second one, okay. All right, I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance establishing a donations fund for Jefferson County Animal Shelter.
I second that.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
I make a motion to accept ordinance number 20. In a minute. Ordinance number 2026-03, an ordinance establishing a donation fund for Jefferson County Animal Shelter building and equipment.
I second that.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Both ordinances are approved and. Okay. You want to run with this IT service contract?
So we have been entertaining proposals for an IT service, an IT service, we'll leave it at that. We have had several proposals come in, we've reviewed them and have decided that we are going to go with Leap managed IT. And it's gonna be substantially more than what we're paying now, but we'll have people on site, and that's what we were after, so the total monthly subtotal is $25,272.67. I'm working.
I make a motion, we accept the LEAP contract. I think I missed the last part of the monthly 25,272,767.
67. You know, I find that 67 cents.
Yeah.
Okay,
Second.
I second that.
Yeah, motion and a second. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Department updates.
Hurry up.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make some joke and it's gonna be clever and they're gonna feel weird. So,
Have you got it? No Christmas cards?
no, I zero, that we don't get a lot of Christmas cards.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Easter.
These were just, so I'm not gonna sit here and read all of these to you gentlemen, but I will give you some stats from our annual report. So, based on that, so for 2025, we saw 2,341 participants, whether that was through community service or community supervision or pretrial. We had, now cases is a little bit more because some people do have more cases. So we had 2,642 cases. Breaking those down by my different programs, we had 789 on community corrections, 12 on CTP, 740 on pretrial, 284 on prosecutor diversion, 17 on drug court, and a total of 849 on electronic monitor throughout that year. Our IRAS and IYAS, which are the risk assessments, that's how we may refer, I know. Do you want me to slow down or?
No, I just wonder what that stands for.
Indiana Risk Assessment.
Okay,
So, and then the IAS is the youth.
okay.
So, that's how we assess adults and youth to see what programs to refer them to, what level of supervision they will have, that sort of thing. We conducted 2,834 of those in adult with 152 in juvenile, and that's because their cases are lower in that section. We did 2,988 drug screens. There were 1,067 positive. However, some of those, they might have tested for several substances in that, as well as there are some prescriptions for things like benzodiazepines and amphetamines. So some of those had prescriptions with them. We did 1,934 program referrals, not just only for our in-house programs, but also for community resources and stakeholder programs out in the community. We, the goal was to have, so we have an incentives, interventions and sanctions. And so the goal is to have 4-to-1 as far as incentives to sanctions. So, and those can be as, as simple as, thanking somebody for coming in, being on time, working on their homework, negative drug screens, following a schedule, a list of things. So I was really happy because we had 8,695 incentives and 365 sanctions violations. We also have a graduated sanction matrix, so some that didn't necessarily mean that all of those cases were revoked. I've committed to people, focus on community, and I just smile because I feel like I should be like in some commercial. Like it's just so. Anyway, and then integrity, teamwork, empowerment, accountability, and trust are our core values that we voted on. So it was nice for staff to get involved in that and have some buy-in on what they they want to stand behind, what we do, what we want to see, where we're going. As far as, so then the end of this month, we will start our first female cohort for the jail chemical addiction program.
JCAP.
You might as well use
We have too many.
I
too
know.
many
It's easier. JCAP.
everywhere.
You're telling me.
So many gyms. So, right now we have 9 participants, so that's our biggest cohort so far, so we're really excited about getting that going. Right now, so annual reports were due kind of the end of March. Now, all of grants are due the beginning of April, so, I had letters there, of support, so, both for Indiana Department of Corrections as well as Indiana Office of Court Services. And then I will be submitting a lot of grants for the next couple of weeks, and this is my first year at that, so there's sometimes.
They're fun.
Mhm.
A learning experience.
Yes.
You know what, I wanted to stress to them that when I looked at samples, and I asked a couple other counties, and they had, I get it, short and sweet, but they had kind of generic letters to them, especially with budget cuts going on with IDOC and Indiana Office of Court Services. I went a little verbose on those letters to kind of bring that point home, is if you don't fund this, we don't have these programs, and this is what it does to our community and state, as well as this is what it will cost the taxpayers. So I think that will help. Hope when allocation time comes out, that won't, I don't think we started getting award letters until July, and as Heather knows, some of those came way after that fact, so.
I'm still getting that just recently.
Yep, I don't, yep, that one makes me, I don't understand that one at all, but I don't have control over when they give us those allocations. So that was just kind of, so when I came on, they had a small steering committee for crisis intervention training, which is, we're gonna offer for first responders. It's basically, to help those dealing who might be in suicidal ideation, who have mental health problems, dementia, youth, things like that. So we are currently in the process of, I need the insurance form, and Ivy Tech has saved us a room. We have Sergeant Dardine coming down from Indiana State Police, and he will be the chair of this since it's the first year. And so we will be having that June 8th through June 12th. So right now we're operating it to law enforcement officers with the hope of next year, then we can bring in first responders and things like that. So that's my idea.
You're doing good to me.
Okay, that's all I can do.
Right, tell Jason to top that.
Yeah, you're next.
But thanks,
Well,
gentlemen.
I hate to follow a gas into a speaking class, you know, so. That's all right. We have a whole lot, I guess, just to get us a little bit updated, it's, seems like we've made 365, weather alerts. Weather alerts here this past year. Maybe 2 or 3 times a day also. So that's really what our primary mission's been here as of late is weather response. And that's, not only preparing for ourselves and also preparing for everybody else around us and a lot that we've had an opportunity to really help, a few of the counties in the good parts of the state, so it's always good that they can afford to ask you to come and help them do and get through some things that they're going through. Working on some memorandums of understanding, just trying to get some of those updated, because it's been a long time since we really kind of revisited all that stuff, so. Got that ball rolling with a few. Fire response and Red Cross response, we were able to help with the Third Street fire this yesterday, and we were able to find all the people that were involved, all the business, to get them the help they needed, all that stuff, so it was a good day to round them up and took some stress off the fire chief in front of people and all of it, so we're glad to help there. Let's see, did a severe weather program in Milton Township, the fire department. Lady Erin Morris, they've just been in the county for, I think, 3 years, what she told me. Her husband comes from Cincinnati. And she did a great job organizing the event. I think there were like 60, 65 people that were there.
Wow.
So great show show out. And I think it's 4 or 5 different vendors that were there, giving things away and answering questions, stuff like that. So it was really a good event especially for, how small the area is.
Yeah. I want can she duplicate that in other places? Or
Yes.
does she have information that she can pass along to people? Cause that seemed like that would be a.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we're in the process of recruiting her as well. She's a real good organizer. She's done a fantastic job, so it's good news. Healthcare Coalition Conference was fantastic to attend. The Indiana Health, well, I guess the state's doctor is just an interesting guy to listen to and chat with, and a lot. They had a great program, and he's just a phenomenal speaker. So he's just a great guy. So he's easy to learn from because he speaks so well, which is good. I've got FEMA on my notes with the eye roll emoji. It's just difficult every time you walk in the door. It's like, they've been off for a while. Nobody's answering emails and stuff like that. So, of course, I understand that's the situation there, but I think the last thing they sent us a note that they were just continuing something that we had talked about, and to be honest, I'm really not sure of all the things that we had in the air, just exactly which one of those were. So, John, really probably a better guy to ask about that, or Jason for sure, but. Had some discussions with the IoT and cybersecurity meetings, some training and stuff. We've been involved in a few meetings with them. I'm interested in that because I just don't know enough about it. So I'm trying to educate myself as much as possible. So it's nice that we have the relationship with them that we do. We attended a domestic violence training at Ivy Tech. That was a fantastic class. Guy lost his stepdaughter and has really kind of been around the country, just really bringing attention and a lot of business to domestic violence and what that looks like for everybody. So it was an interesting talk, and he was a really good speaker as well. And that has to be a pretty difficult conversation to have as often as he has it, and watch body cam video and stuff like that of her and all that. But that could not have been easy. I don't know how he does it. We're hosting a drone mapping class for car crashes. That's a grant through Purdue. It's nice to put them in that kind of program. So that also comes with a 3D mapping program as well. So we can do some additional 3D mapping with the program. So that's about all I got.
Thank you for the help out at Canaan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, hate to be there, but you hate to miss it. I know, if any stuff. So crisis intervention is a great thing. Well done. Thank you. So, yeah, awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brian. I'll let the podium pull down.
Excuse me.
He ignores it all and moves on, as you should.
I gotta say, this meeting's been a banger. We've had insurance, property tax, 2 ordinances, IT, and we still got Jason's dazzling presentation that goes, and this is gonna be one for the records here.
I think we had one, a 9-minute one last time.
Yeah,
Now-
man, we're making up for that tonight.
90
We
minutes.
gotta get that average back up. I did receive a proposal from a consultant to write a park plan for us, excuse me. Find this cold, it's killing me. I forwarded that to Pat for review, so once he's done with that, I bring it to you and hopefully he'll get that in the next few days. So we can proceed with that. Had a couple phone calls this week, talked to Rachel at Advanced Outdoor Management, she's with the company that's looking to operate the campground whenever, like you said earlier, whenever we get there, so they are still engaged and they're reaching out to me, trying, just letting them know where we're at and everything, so they're ready to go whenever we are, so just good to hear. Had another phone call with, MCCI, they're our laserfish service provider. We're subscribing to Laserfish, their entire suite of offerings, and we're using.
One?
Yeah, we're barely scratching the surface on what they can do for us. So he's a new rep for us, actually, so he's offering to come sometime and meet with department heads and show what they can do, and maybe we can streamline. some
Show them what
things.
microfish is.
Show
I'm
what
sure
it
most
is.
of them are
I
like,
know everybody thinks we
a
just.
small fish? Why do I
Yeah.
want a small fish?
Just can stuff. So, anyway, I'm gonna start talking to some of the department heads and see if we can get some interest and maybe get him on site, maybe we start getting more of our money's worked out.
Sure, maybe there's some things in there. I mean,
Maybe some things
we
that-
automatically think about the photo negative, but maybe there's other stuff that.
Well, they do, yeah, I mean, invoice routing, and I mean, they do a lot of, local government activities and things, so. I know every department seems to have their, they go out and find an application that meets their needs, and we've got all these
Sure.
standalone programs, maybe we can start to bring some of those in, so. Anyway, just something I got out there, I'm gonna start working a little bit. County Safety Committee today, we split up, a couple of us went to the sheriff's office and jail. A couple others went to the animal shelter and just did a walkthrough, just trying to start driving some behavior changes, identifying some things that, if we can make some changes before we start getting Rick in here more to get our insurance, so.
Sure.
As far as the jail, I went to the jail and sheriff's office, really there's nothing glaring, just a lot of stuff, just need some housekeeping, and, how'd it go to the animal shelter, Trish? You here?
It was pretty good, except for like a step.
Yeah, you got all the changes in elevation.
Yeah, the changes in elevation or something.
We're working on that.
We're gonna get rid of that.
So anyway, we're trying.
Yellow danger tape or something for now.
Well, that's what they suggested was paint, to paint all those things with some yellow paint.
So we're trying to get out and,
Okay,
beyond the courthouse and start, checking out some of these other sites, and we're trying to head off some accidents before they can happen there, so. It's been slow, but we're getting there, so. And then, last thing, I wanna steal Trish's thunder, but we did receive,
you are gonna do it.
I don't know. Okay, we did receive, $1.6 million from the Ready to reallocation last week. So, and, Bob, over here, we'll call Bob out, that was a great article, that you had in the paper, it was, really good, so appreciate that.
Go, Bob.
And then, so we did we did receive the request for documentation that the RDA needs by March 31st, so. Once again, it's a very tight timeline to get information back to them. I think we've got about everything.
On the campground.
Oh, no, on
No.
On
the
those
animal
two?
shelter too, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, we've got,
And we don't have the one form they're supposed to send us to turn, so
yeah, so.
it's kind of
Imagine
like.
that.
We're getting there, so, we got. Till Tuesday, the 31st, we have, 7, 8 more working days, almost tomorrow. And, well, I think we got most of the numbers, we just get our timeline together and, some of the projections and turn it in, it's, when you gonna start construction? I mean, when you gonna give me the money?
I don't know.
When you gonna be finished?
Yeah, you don't give me the money, so, you know, we've been over a year on the campground waiting for money, so hopefully around a year on the shelter too, so. But anyway, it's
I'll have
significant.
to spend it by, I mean, it'll be the same deadline, won't it?
Yeah,
27 minutes.
Quarter 3/28.
Yep. so once we get it, we're gonna.
Is it spent or is it allocated?
I don't know, we gotta see what
Yeah, see which one it is then.
encumbered,
Yeah.
allocated, they got,
A number of different
we
words.
get our dictionary out and see what they're talking about at any given time. But anyway, we're moving, it was
Yeah.
it was a great proposal or partnership with Ivy Tech, got Amanda back here. They made all the difference, made a good project and it did there. Any questions? Good deal. Yeah, Jason.
The best for last. I guess it's Trish. Good luck, Trish.
He talks.
You see Brian, he's wiping tears out.
Don't let that podium burn
I know, I don't want to touch it just yet, you know. I gotta say, these guys done some wonderful speeches tonight. But But we have entered the month of March. So Mother Nature has brought her March Madness, of course. You know, it's not just basketball in Indiana. So we've been out dealing with the rains and of course the high winds, keeping them cleaned up.
In the snow, intermission.
Well, I was gonna throw that in there, then the snow, so I gotta throw a big shout out to the highway department for the job well done. And then I have to throw out a huge shout out to the sheriff's department for helping us combat some of these high wind situations. They've been out kicking off limbs, putting up signs for us, just major help, so hats off to them guys, they've done a fantastic job. And as you know, we've been getting culverts in when we can, repairing washouts when we can, ditches. And we went to road school this week at Purdue. I'm not a Purdue fan, guys, so don't worry. But
That's probably gonna get you more.
Yeah.
I'm good with it, so
Oh, you're-
that podium.
I'm not.
But there was a lot of valuable information at road school. Like you guys have told me before, it's the hallway talk that you get from all these other counties out there and the relationships that you've built. Relationships with, you know, EMA that could be there, or sheriff that could be just possibly walking through to learn a little bit. It's wonderful. Took two gentlemen with me, of course, John, you guys know, and then one of my operators, Taryn Pace, and they both come out there with a whole new attitude of how the county actually works and the road networks. So it's very, very valuable, and it was a very good time. But yeah, good old Purdue education. So other than that, that's all I've got tonight. We've trying to keep it short for you, so. Oh,
Was
I
that
did
some-
take a public speaking course, God.
Really shows too.
Yeah, that's right. So they talked about me about being nervous at the podium and stuff, and we took this test. I am very low, so I'm gonna have to take more training. So,
Well, sometimes training just doing, you know, so. Maybe you can talk to these other guys to give you their notes, then you just.
I would be great with that. But that's all I've got tonight. You guys have anything?
You're doing good,
Thank you.
real
in.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Any other county has more fun
No,
than meetings, I
no.
wanna see it. I wanna see it. What a
Family.
diverse group of people.
Family.
Okay, we got any other department heads?
Trish.
Man, I don't.
Come on up here, since he stole all your thunder.
The second clap of thunder, maybe?
Yeah, other than my whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got granted that one princess.
Gotten quite a big chunk already.
Yeah,
Mhm.
with all the other funds and the pledges. So the pledges haven't come in yet, but once we collect on the pledges, there will be 500, I think 536,000 in the building fund that we established tonight. Reestablished, I guess we should say.
Yeah.
On top of that. And then
the equipment and the land and stuff that Ivy Techs bring into the table. So I think. And I think we have some good ideas with Ivy Tech on how we could get the rest of the money too. It's just, we just need to know what that is, you know, if that's on that. Hit the ground going some more. But yeah, I want to thank Amanda and them with Ivy Tech, because if it wasn't for their collaboration though, this would still be a dream. And I just, all this group, this whole gang this year, it just the vibe, it's awesome. We all work so well together and just congratulate everybody. And you guys and Bobby for being right there with me every step through this. Thank you.
Congratulations to you. Well done. Way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've only been trying for this since 2013. So.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be built.
Failure's not an option.
Failure is not an option. That's right.
So is Raggedy Ann still there?
Yes, she is, but she's getting worse. I mean, the longer she's staying in the cage, but yeah. You should come meet her
I don't know. Oh,
or.
Or just bring her to the next meeting if he hasn't.
yeah, you can do that. I mean, some of the things, so I have another dog, I have a cat.
It's the cat thing that'll probably be your most issue. She's really just, the cats are in her sight, like
Really?
death to all.
Well, you
And
know,
it could be just the shelter environment that is getting her, cause she's been there since August. And she's a senior lady.
maybe we tell you the cat's mine, so that's a hard thing to overcome. so.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could take her for a day and see what happens.
Yeah, it starts.
Just start with a day. Or
You
an hour.
got new cats too, don't you?
Yeah.
How'd,
Yeah.
Hey,
how'd your rescue run go yesterday at the house farms?
We wound up with 2 dogs and 4 cats from down there. 3 of the cats went back. One of the cats is maybe just a neighborhood stray that just happened to get that area.
hey, wait,
Sneaking out.
Wasn't real happy?
One occupant, we're still trying to search for her 2 cats. They have not found her cats yet. With the dogs, so I'm hoping their people come, cause I tried to tell them, you know, we're not a boarding facility. I can keep them for a couple of days until they can get something, but I don't know how long I should hold for that situation, but I don't wanna not, you know, not lend I just don't wanna take up my kennel till they find a new home, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But you wasn't gonna let them go either, so. I
Yeah,
said you wasn't gonna desert them either, so,
no,
yeah.
no. So we're figuring that out, cause that's a new situation that we hadn't dealt with before.
Just need a bigger building.
Yes. With some quarantine areas, yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
job.
Okay. Any other department heads? Darren, you got? Kevin, you got anything you want?
No, I'm here to observe.
Oh, okay, cool.
You missed Jason.
Yeah.
Call me out. You missed Jason, so.
Yeah, the podium still has wisps of heat up on.
Okay, I'm good.
Any public comment while we're here? Bob, it's your chance, come on. One of these days, he's gonna jump up there and I'm gonna crawl over. Yeah.
Before we go too far, I do wanna give a big, huge shout out to Amanda and Ivy Tech. Her and Brittany Dyer have reached out to me. I know they've reached out to the animal shelter and everyone. Just the collaboration, the thought process going behind trying to help our youth. And try to help job place or job shadow on some of this. I know we've had a young student over here doing some job shadowing, and I hope we're showing him good things. But I do want to give a huge shout out to him, because this has been a fantastic program, bringing some fresh minds in and kind of changing our mind on how some of this stuff has worked, so. Thank you again, Amanda.
Okay. Mr. Lee, you have anything?
No.
Okay. Looking for that.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. I second. All in favor, signify by aye.